Welcome to the Love Holistic Living podcast, your roadmap to heal and align mind, body, and soul and become intuitive through food, pleasure, and spirituality with your host and Italian friend, Sara. In today's episode, we're going to be talking about holistic living. And I really want to break down this concept for you guys because there are some misconceptions about what holistic living is all about. And since my name is Love Holistic Living, I really want to go into the depth and the details of what that really means. I'm going to start though with a little bit of a story, personal story of how I actually created the Love Holistic Living channel, because it throws me back to when I was pregnant with my second child, and I had 1.5-year-old son, and I was in my third trimester, and I remember asking myself, what is that I want to do with my life? What is that I have under my belt? What is my story? And I remember typing on Google literally like how to help people, and I knew that I wanted to be I wanted to go into the psychology route and be a consultant or a psychologist, a therapist. And so I started researching. I even went to university and enrolled to university in my third trimester with a 1.5-year-old baby, thinking that I was going to go on this 8+ year journey of becoming a therapist, and it didn't last long. What was awesome is that I passed all the entry test with an A+, which means like I went on the higher level that you could possibly be. And I remember looking at my test and I was like, oh my God, I am still making it into this world, even though I was a stay-at-home mom. So it meant a lot to actually go through that process, even though it lasted for about 3 weeks. And then I was home and I actually went into labor and I had my second baby. But I did realize that I wanted to be a health coach. And when I was trying to find my name, the brand name, I literally thought that I healed myself holistically. I healed my binge eating, my eating disorder in a very holistic way. And so I typed holistic living and it was taken. And so I literally put together, I love holistic living, took the I off, and there was Love Holistic Living. But what does it really mean? Because if you haven't yet, make sure that you grab a copy of my book. It's called Mangia for Mind, Body, and Soul. Actually, that's the story. I wrote all of my story and the chapters in my book. And it would be so awesome if you could leave me a comment or a review on Amazon and tell me actually what you think, because I poured so many hours and sweat into this. I actually think is one of my best creation ever. It has more than 100 plus recipes plus chapters that are leading you to create this holistic lifestyle. But what does it mean? So you need to understand that there is a mind, a body, and a soul. And I know you've heard probably this terminology being used so broadly these days, because I go to a massage place, I go, downtown, and there are so many stores that are using this terminology. Yet I see so many people not living up to that integrity. And I'm not saying they are fake people. I'm just saying maybe they don't have the information to understand what really mind, body, and soul is all about. Your soul lives in a physical body. That's the one that you can actually touch. That is the one that you wake up every day, you walk with, you you need to nourish that body every single day. And so there is a misconception when people are like, oh, I love the mind body soul connection, but they eat like crap and they only take care of their like soul. And I'm like, you can't, because the food is going to affect the mind. Or vice versa, people that are so healthy in the physical body, yet they have a poor mindset and or bad spiritual hygiene. So taking care of the physical body, and I'm going to give you a few tips today, is taking care of your nutrition, but not in an extreme way, not in a strict way. It doesn't mean going on diet. It just means how can you love your body? How can you also feed your body with the right fuel? And what I'm mainly and broadly referring to is how can you decrease the amount of processed food, especially here in America, that you are consuming every day. And again, here, I'm not saying you have to eat super clean unless you have a health issue. And that's why I created this book, because it's it's about clean eating. It's because I went through a very hard health issue during actually after having my kids when I was 26. So that's a story for another day. But it really means how can you find the balance between your glass of wine and your treats and maybe your soda? There's no guilt or shame on this show. Still, though, in a way that it's not bringing you down. It's not affecting you to the point of high blood pressure, high cholesterol, poor gut lining, like all of those things, like health issues, inflammation. Like, how can you maintain balance? And this code is unique to every humans. So when I work with one-on-one clients, I always tell them what I'm giving you. The plan is just about you, because I'm taking care of your mind, body, and soul with your relationships. I'm taking care of all of these things. So someone else can't use this plan. Okay. It's very, very important. Everybody has a success code. You have this information right under your belt. If you need any extra in-depth help where you can discover your unique mind, body, and type, and discover your unique metabolism, and get your personal protocol, then all you need to do is to book a one-on-one with me, whether it's a program or a one-on-one session, because that's what I do. That's the strength is the mind, body, and soul. And the program is allowing people to change habits through the course of time, like 3 months, 6 months together, or even a year, so that you're followed and you're making sure that you are provided with the accountability with all of that. But the side note, besides this note, if you must do one thing is to try to clean up your diet, but still maintaining balance. And if you want to add another thing, if your lifestyle is sedentary, then make sure that you add some movement. And again, I am not saying you have to work out 5 days a week. I'm just saying even movement in your household, like cleaning your household, is true workout. And or walking every morning, and or when you're on the playground with your kids, make sure that you implement some running with them or exercise where you push them on the altalena, which is the swing in Italian, and you roll down a hill with them. Like, I make sure that I give my all when I'm with the kids in a way that I move my body so that I feel good and I feel like I'm doing something. That's the physical body. And I know we can go into the depth of of how to adjust the physical body. But for today, let's move into your mindset. Mindset is key in order to be successful with your actions. What I mean by that is that your mindset will dictate the behavior. So when you have a poor mindset towards your body, so for example, you look in the mirror and you say, "Oh my God, you look fat today," or "Your hair looks gross," or "I'm going to start a diet on Monday," or like, "Why can't you look like that?" And you compare your body to another woman or man, right? When you adopt that mindset, which I call it low vibration mindset, I call it negatively programmed mindset, then you are more likely to fall into toxic patterns like dieting, body dysmorphia, body obsession, extreme thinking. And the body's always listening to what you say and what you think, and it will respond to your thoughts. So when you're very highly critical towards your body, then it will respond with stress. It will respond with maybe binge eating. It will respond, I mean, like I said, every experience that you have is unique to you, but your mindset is key in order to be successful. If you've ever heard of the millionaire mindset, I wish more people would know about the weight loss mindset or the healthy holistic lifestyle mindset, which is an episode on its own. All I'm here to say is start with gratitude every single day. And if you do it right, if you really commit to a 3 months process with waking up every single day and look for 5 things that you're truly grateful, then it will start shaping your life in so many different ways. Because when something is happening that could be very dramatic, you are going to be programmed to think in a positive way. So that's key when you are on lifestyle journey, on a journey of bettering yourself, because you are more likely to look at all of the small steps you're taking instead of beating yourself up because you're not reaching the end destination or the goal on the scale. And lastly is the soul. As you know, or I'm hoping that you know, we all have a soul. And the body is the temple of that soul. The soul has a lot of information that you right now can't access to or you don't remember. But if you connect to that soul, which is called your higher self, you will find all the information you need in order to really understand your purpose, what you're meant to do here, and your passions, and who you really are without the identity that you've created, without the ego. And what I love about spiritual health is that is key in order to, it's like the cherry on top, to keep everything in balance, because you have the foundation, you need the foundation of the home, right? Which is your body. Then you need the mindset, which think about the walls of the house. And then you need the roof, which is the spiritual health. It's what's going to close everything and make sure that everything stays safe. And so a lot of the times people are so disconnected. And what happens in the spiritual world, like which means at the soul level, like traumas affect the soul level. Then if you are not taking care of that trauma, if you don't, and I'm not talking about therapy, I'm talking about like if you don't take care of your healing and process that, it will get stored into the body, and you will likely manifest health issues and things in your body that are going to start to affect the physical health. So, all I'm here to say is the mind, body, and soul are connected. And when taking a holistic approach, you have to understand the three planes. You also have to go a little bit broader and understand that your relationships that you have in your life, whether that's a romantic of a friendship, all or like at your workplace, they affect you. Then you think about maybe you go to school and then like your job, or you have a job. And so that affects your mind, body, and soul. So all of the things around you are affecting who you are today. And that is holistic living, is taking the unique approach to the whole person. Again, when my clients come in, I tell them, like, I'm working with you, with your job, your relationships, your age, your trauma, your kids, like generational patterns. That's you. I'm not looking at anybody else. So it's a very unique approach. So the things that you can implement today, I want you to just take a wider and broader look today at your life. It's a circle of life. If you've ever seen that design, where there is a circle and then there's like, it looks like a cake. And then there's spirituality. Where are you with your job? How happy are you in your career? How happy are you with your family life? How happy are you in your love life? Things like that, right? And then you start drawing or coloring, and I've done that in the past. And you realize maybe you're lacking spiritually, or you're not exercising, or you're great in your finances, like things like that. So, if you need to take anything out of this episode today, make sure that you draw that circle of life and that you ask yourself, what is that I need to focus on the most right now? It's the physical body, is my spiritual health, is my mental health, all of them maybe. But I hope this was helpful, and let me know in the comments. And don't forget to grab a copy of my book at mangiacookbook.com, or you can go onto my main website, loveholisticliving.com, to find all of the information, because that is truly going to activate all of your area of your life.